Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got live tournament action coming at you. It is going to be Hyper versus BugRancher, and guess what? We have made it into the semifinals of tonight's Open Arena tournament. Prepare yourselves for ZvZ Mayhem. Oh my goodness, I'm already getting chills. It is going to be red versus green, and Hyper going to be spawning as our green down here at the 6 o'clock position. Phenomenal control from him we've seen tonight. Effort, though, spawning as our red. Zerg up here at the 12 o'clock position. So cross positions here on Shattered Temple. Like I said, best of 3 though. So I mean, we're going to see some Baneling bombs, I'm assuming, here and there. And man, this is going to be a nice little series. This would be the second ZvZ we've seen tonight, but it's been a dry spell for ZvZ lately. For whatever reason, we're seeing less players playing Zerg recently, and I don't, quite honestly, I don't understand why. But but BugRancher is Effort. So if you guys do remember Effort, played in the tournaments all the time, phenomenal friend to ALT-Stracraft, a great player. He did change his name to BugRancher, so a good thing to note now moving forward. You're going to start looking out for BugRancher. He is definitely ranching bugs in the form of drones at this point. Kind of a nice little name for him there, but does get his scout in here. He's going to start picking away at this mineral line here, at least getting some intel. Does see the early gas from Hyper, so knows what that means. We're going to see Hyper going for that early Speedling build. We'll see how BugRancher is going to respond here. I'm assuming he's still going for his expansion. Indeed he is. Sending his drone down there right now. He's going to have 300 minerals. The drone a little bit late on the draw there. Get down there faster, buddy. Look at that. 45 minerals over before that hatchery went down. Unbelievable misclick here from BugRancher. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay. He's just fine. It was just it was a short little deal. But you do want to be careful. The crisper the timings, the better, especially in ZvZ. It's one of those matches where, oh man, tiny little differences can make a very big difference in the end. We do see that spawning pool going down for Hyper. It is about to be complete. Doing a great job here. And the spawning pool for BugRancher going down in great time. Looking good. So should be okay defensively. He is going to have to be careful, making sure to get up a spine crawler ASAP is usually what you want to do. Either that or cut production of your drones a little bit early so that you have some extra larvae. And clearly he has not done that. He's only got 1 larva out right now. And so probably going to see him toss down a spine crawler here at this point, which I think is probably the right move. Static defense tends to be what you want. Here comes your lings in production for BugRancher is 4 lings of his own. Looks like those guys will be out just barely in time to defend. We do have queens on the way, 2 at a time right now for BugRancher, so nicely done there. So it looks like great timings from him and should be able to defend with absolutely no trouble moving forward. Here comes your first 4 lings from BugRancher. Gonna start, 6 lings now. He's in great defensive posture, tossing down a spine crawler. In the meantime, Hyper is working on an expansion of his own. It's about 50% complete, and he's sending more lings out across the field. Notice that BugRancher going for the first Baneling nest. Wow, so beating Hyper to the punch there. Taking an early expansion and then getting aggressive right away. Kind of an interesting play. He is going to have a lot of larvae. That's the key here. He doesn't much care for the... I mean, if he's going to get aggressive, he doesn't really need the super large economy as much as he does need the larva, and that's exactly what he's going to have. Notice he's blocking the ramp with his queen here. Such a smart play. Spine crawler going down. The queens are going to be able to hold with absolutely no trouble, and now the spine crawler kicking in, so he is going to be just fine as he moves forward. Now Hyper starting his Baneling nest now as well. I don't know. This is definitely going to be Baneling wars here in just a few moments, but BugRancher will beat him to the punch there. May see a couple defensive Banelings here in just a moment. Here comes your lings. Are they going to make it in? Oh, they should see the Banelings there. I hope they were paying attention. Woohoo! Nice splitting there from Hyper. Oh my goodness. Trying to bust those Banelings, but good control there from BugRancher as well. He didn't let those guys waste themselves, killing off just 1 or 2 lings. So good control from both individuals so far. This is going to shape up to be a very nice match. I can tell. Looks like this Overlord is going to die. Does supply block BugRancher there, so he sacked that Overlord, unfortunately, and it is going to cost him. It is indeed going to cost him. Getting defensive here, he is going to have that spine crawler going into the ground for just a few moments. The attack here from Hyper not quite going to happen in time, however. Wow, the Baneling's getting wasted there. Hyper really pushing forward with one Ling at a time, getting up into the face of the Banelings, and it is costing BugRancher here a couple extra Banelings here. That's expensive losses at this point. In the meantime, Hyper should have some Banelings on the way here in just a moment. He does have some back here for defensive purposes at his main. Tossing down his second spine crawler here. We better check in on our economies. Notice that Hyper is ahead in the supply count for just a moment, and then BugRancher taking a significant lead there. 35 down to 31. But a lot of larva right now for Hyper, and he's trying to decide what to spend it on. Probably going to see him go for some Lings here, is my guess. He is going to be moving into the forward position. A lot of Lings here. Probably going to see some Banelings. If he's going to go for an attack. Nope, maybe not. Looks like another Baneling getting sniped there by Hyper. He'll trade one Zergling for one Baneling all day long. That's a good way to come out on top. In the meantime, he is going to be working on the destructible rocks at his gold expansion, so Hyper gearing up for that. Going to take a third here. Kind of an interesting game so far. The battles have actually been fairly light, just small skirmishes here and there. Not any really severe damage has been dealt from either player at this point. Oh, we got new tech though from Hyper. It is going to be a Spire. Where is he hiding, that sucker? Not there. How come I'm not seeing it? Oh, there it is, right there. Spires are so small. For some reason, they're difficult to see. Like, if you don't look close enough, it almost looks like a creep tumor sometimes. So. But there it is. He does have his Spire going down. It's trying to reach up toward the heights, toward the sky, up where the mutas live. BugRancher in phenomenal shape so far. Back here at his base, he is going to be going for a third here. Notice that Hyper doing the same thing. Going to be destroying all of his rocks. The rocks at the gold for BugRancher, though, are still up and running. So we may see the gold go down for Hyper. Just depends on whether he feels like he can hold it or not. And here comes an attack. He is going to be moving forward with a good bunch of Lings. One Ling cruising in here is going to try and pick up some scouting intel. Doesn't get tons. In the meantime, BugRancher cruising out across the field is going to take down the backdoor rocks for the time being. But Hyper going to come in for the surround here. Oh my goodness! And BugRancher didn't notice soon enough, so he is going to lose all of these Lings here, it appears. Brutal. Nicely done there from Hyper. Taking a supply lead. Very, very nicely done. Still got great defenses. He's starting to plant a spine crawler forest. So Hyper is our new friend to the environment. This guy is planting a forest of spine crawlers. Got to love that. Spine crawlers, as we all know, do produce the oxygen that all of these units breathe in the Caprulu sector. So got to have spine crawlers. That is your oxygen production structure. Good old stuff. Looks like this third could potentially go down for BugRancher. We do have a third gone down for Hyper, and guess where it is? It is at the gold. Looks like Hyper now with a bunch of mutas now out on the field is going to cruise up here. Guess what he's going to deny? The third, just for the time being. What do we have for AA here? Not tons. BugRancher getting caught a little bit off guard. Does have his own mutas now out on the field. Should be able to chase these guys down for the time being. We'll see who's going to take the lead on the Mutalisk numbers. Where are we at right now? 11 for Hyper, only 8 for BugRancher. So BugRancher does need to be careful. You see him playing defensively with these guys for now. It appears, and it looks like he might start to move out. He is securing his third now again, but Hyper will beat him to the punch. This gold is about to be complete. Probably going to see him get some mining done there ASAP. Every little bit is going to help. The sooner the better. That I can promise you guys. In the meantime, we do have... What is that? Flyer Carapace first instead of... Wow, that is so interesting to me. It's both these guys going for Carapace level 1 first for their Mutalisks. In the meantime, we do have... What was that? Here comes a couple Lings. Looks like these guys trying to find their way into this gold expansion. Not quite going to happen. There's plenty of Mutalisks here for defense. Here come the mutas from BugRancher. Trying to snipe the gas. Didn't really work out that well, and he's starting to evac here ASAP. BugRancher taking a little bit of damage, but he is going to have his +1 carapace complete as well as Hyper. We're going to see this continue, but a lot of back and forth between these guys without much death. Such an interesting matchup thus far. Nice supply blocking there from BugRancher. Super smart, taking those guys out. Don't want to engage here. He is outnumbered severely, so he's got to be careful. Picking up a couple extra units, and he's trying to focus these down, but I think the best way to micro these is to A-move. It looks like Hyper is going to get the better end of this deal. BugRancher going to lose a lot of mutas. More mutas in production right now for BugRancher, but man, starting to fall behind fairly quickly. Look how many mutas are still on the field for Hyper. Usetab shows that he is still at 18 mutas. Granted, some of those guys are in the red, but not very many, and I mean, that's a lot of damage regardless, so it's got to be... Oh, well, we've got to be on pause, of course. Okay. But want to mention real quick that Icefire said the reason that you get Flyer Carapace, it makes the third attack not do any damage, so that is why. That is what Icefire said, so that is great intel. Thank you so much for that, Icefire. Always good to get some intel from another master level Zerg player. I just got so used to seeing players going for their flyer attack level 1. Now all of a sudden, you know, the metagame has switched a little bit on me. So good to know why, and that is the reason. Good stuff, but we do have a really long lag there. But Hyper's still in the game, lucky for him. But moving forward, he is going to be doing a lot of damage with these mutas. BugRancher trying to find a way to hold these guys off, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so. These guys are just ripping everything to pieces. My goodness. And there is the GG from BugRancher. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys in the next game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action continuing here in this best-of-3 semifinal. It is Hyper and BugRancher battling it out to make it into the finals tonight. Currently in the finals, ready and waiting, is Evereyes. He is going to be a phenomenal player. Ready for these guys to come in. It will be a Terran Berserk. Does Evereyes play Terran? Yeah, he does. Okay. Cool. So Hyper now versus BugRancher. It's game 2. Hyper up currently 1 game. And that is going to be a big deal. We'll see how this is going to play out, but BugRancher does need to make a strong comeback here in game number 2. Has to take at least this game down to continue on, and that's a tough deal sometimes. Best of 3s, quick. It's fast and furious, man. What can I say? Got to get those wins in ASAP. And we're going to be headed into this pretty good. Looks like BugRancher picking up double extractor trick for just a moment. He did take a slight lead for just a second there. But Hyper not too far behind. It is up to 13 drones as well. We'll see who's going to get down the spawning pool first. So far so good. We are at 14 supply, and I do expect to see gas and spawning pools. There goes your gas for Hyper. No gas for BugRancher quite yet, so looks like he may go for fast expand. 15 hatch is definitely a possibility. These guys out on the live stream want to know what I was drinking. I am indeed drinking Coca-Cola, except it is caffeine free. That's why they were mistaking it for Dr. Pepper, because it's got gold instead of white. So, but yeah, it's good stuff. I do that. I drink that because the caffeine makes me jittery while I'm casting. I don't like being jittery. But spawning pool gone down for Hyper in great time. He is going to get that out just slightly sooner, obviously, than his opponent, who is currently taking that expansion. BugRancher here, about a quarter of the way done on that expand, and following it up with a spawning pool ASAP. So it looks like your spawning pool going to be complete for Hyper, and we're going to see some Zergling production. In production, we have got Zergling Speed, and there's your first 2 Zerglings from Hyper. We'll see if he's going to grab any more, but he's also grabbing his Queen here ASAP, so wants to get that inject cycle going. Always a smart play. BugRancher, in the meantime, is about to have his ready as well. Spawning pool about to pop. grabbing that early base. He likes this play. This is the second time we've seen him do that. We'll see how he's going to proceed, but taking down his extractor as well, just barely. So he is going to be slightly behind on that, on the Zergling speed, but that's okay. I think that he should be able to defend as he moves forward, but there will be a timing window that Hyper can take advantage of while he does have speed and his opponent does not. Now here comes your Lings. They're going to poke in here for some aggression. See how these guys are going to go. They're not too fast right now, but BugRancher with plenty for defense for the time being. Yikes, doesn't want to lose any of them though. Spinecrawler going down for BugRancher, and Hyper trying to get up in his face. Got to love that, but looks like the control right now for BugRancher is looking pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. He needs to put that one guy in the back. That poor Zergling's like, he's the only one taking any damage. He's like, what the heck, guys? Why don't you guys take some of this damage too? Or at least kill these guys trying to kill me. He's like the scapegoat, or the, what do you call it? Whipping boy. Poor little guy. Base going down for Hyper. He does have that hatchery about to complete, and he's in great shape. He does have his Zergling speed now out on the field. You can see that. Look how much faster these guys are now. That is much more fun to watch, I think, for us, but way more difficult for BugRancher to deal with in the time being. He is only a third of the way done on his Zergling speed. And here comes the attack. Hyper going to be in great position. Great blocking the ramp there from BugRancher. Always a smart idea. 2 drones are indeed going to go down, but that is going to give this Spinecrawler a couple free shots. But Hyper in great shape. Baneling Nest going down for both players. Looks like BugRancher just a couple seconds ahead, but not by very much. Here comes some more Lings. Coming down, another inject cycle going at it for BugRancher. Looks to be in great shape. Zergling speed about to complete for BugRancher. He absolutely must have that at this point. Oh my goodness! Some Lings do make it in. The rest of these Lings do get caught here. And Zergling speed about to complete. BugRancher absolutely needs this. It's really hindering his ability to hold off this aggression. Nicely done there from BugRancher, but he did lose a couple extra drones. Total drone kills right now for Hyper is 4. So beautifully done. Looking good, but units lost is relatively even. It's not too bad, only 150 difference there. It looks like a counterattack going down for BugRancher. Headed out across the map here. Banelings, I assume, will be on the way. Here comes a couple Banelings for Hyper. Looks like he's getting them down sooner than BugRancher, so BugRancher probably going to go ahead and back out here. He sees way too many Banelings at this point, as well as a lot of Lings here, so going to see him play a little bit smart. I think he's going to back out until he decides to get some Banelings up of his own, but currently producing roaches. Did he cancel his Baneling nest? No, he didn't. Okay. Nope, he's just getting roaches along with, so not a bad deal. Got his Lings out here, though. Looks like these guys probably are going to have to evac here. You can see Hyper looking around for him pretty diligently. And in the meantime, what is this? We got, there's the Banelings trying to get the kill on this pack of Zerglings. BugRancher gotta back out. Sending a couple Lings over to the Banelings, but couldn't force the explosion on those guys, unfortunately. But the Roach is now taking them out. Nicely done here from BugRancher. That is going to give BugRancher the cue to continue pushing forward. You can see him morphing in some more Banelings, heading him straight over to the Vespene Geyser. He is going to really mess that one up. Don't kill Vespene Geysers. Try and kill drones or queens or something like that. That's usually a good idea. But he's got a lot of roaches now in a good forward position. Banelings morphing in for defense here for Hyper. And here comes your line of Banelings from BugRancher. He's starting to split these guys up there just a little bit. Oh, the Banelings. Run, little guys. Oh, my goodness. Nice snipe there from Hyper. And BugRancher almost getting that one off, but his roaches are going to get cleaned up here. And wow, that is it. GG from BugRancher. Hyper going 2-0 there. Beautifully done. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be headed into the finals here momentarily. We will catch you guys then.